This violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello, 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 everyone. How are you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Blame Your Brother, episode 71. Another special one. We'll get to that in just a minute. Before we start, there are three hosts that come to you every week. I am 1/3 of that trio. I am David, a.k.a. D-Brew, voice of the people, Mr. 40%, Glenn Jackson, Nick Nickum. I don't know. Spiritual Midget. That's the other one. Spiritual Midget. And I'm joined by the guy to the left of me. His name is Lee.
What up, everyone? I'm the real Nick Nickum, the voice of the people, the spiritual giant, LeBron safety pin, and, of course, the white Farrakhan.
Yeah, there we go. And Alex Jones left. And I'm also joined by the guy to the right of me. It's John.
Hey, everybody. John here, a.k.a. Tico, a.k.a. Mr. Groupon, Mr. PTI, the Madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman. They do have a madman. Okay, he's a madman.
That's me.
There we go. So that's the three of us. And tonight, very special guest. It's the one and only Mr. Josh Baker. How's it going?
It's going well. I'm happy to be here. Is this the camera?
Right up there.
Oh,
yeah, there
geez,
you go.
The thing in my face.
There you go. So, yeah. So, Josh here, we're going to get to all that. He is a musician, writer, artist, so much more. So, we'll get to all that. And
a poet, a genius. He knows it.
There you go. So, we want to talk about your music for sure and all that. So, we'll get to that in just a second. But before we get started on that, we have to go around the table. Our legal team asks us every week to see if any of us said anything outrageous or stupid from last week. So, Lee, is there anything you need to apologize for or offer retraction from last week's episode?
I do. The legal team contacted me, and they told me that I had to actually sit down and create a form letter of apology. I started on it, and then I just crinkled it up and threw it away.
There you go. All right.
So, but first, let me start off by just giving a heartfelt apology to the wonderful people of Alabama. Of course, last week I insulted their way of life. I insulted, the very core of their being.
You did, yeah.
I snuck football by you somehow. You didn't pick up on that. Michael Anthony called me out on it.
He did. Michael, fan of the show, Michael Anthony said you should not be attacking Alabama like that.
But, honestly, when I talk about football, I don't talk about amateur athletics,
Oh.
I talk about pros.
He's still going.
So, obviously, the Tennessee football team is better than Alabama's. We can all agree to that. And, okay, maybe your barbecue's not the best in the world. That's okay. It doesn't matter. You have great things. You have the Space Center. And I'm sure there's other things like Horsepins 40. And I'm sure there's others.
What is that?
Like the Gulf of Mexico.
I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
I don't know. I'm sure there's
awesome.
more. And Roy Moore still lives in your state, but at least he's not, actively elected into politics. So thank you, Alabama. I was wrong. I apologize. You were great people. You are more than just Tennessee's underpants. That's all I have.
If you're doing the states alphabetically, they're the first state, right?
Well, there you go.
That's true.
There you go.
There you go. It is true. All right, John, is there anything you said you wish to apologize for from last?
As far as like stupid, that's me every week. But I think the Lords have long given up on that. But I don't have really anything to apologize for.
Good deal. All right. So I don't either. So that's that.
Should I apologize now?
You can apologize for next week when you're not here. Sure. Okay. So Josh Baker. So we met. How many years ago has it been now? It's been about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's definitely been a while.
And we met through the last podcast I was doing. And I guess we had you on, right? Yeah, we had you on. Yeah, you were an advocate. Are you still an advocate for?
Not really.
Not really?
No,
okay.
I've stepped back.
Okay, there we go. Well, that was interesting at the time. But yeah, we met. We met ended up at some Comic-Con, hung out for a little bit, had a good time. And I remember at the time you were writing for the website, really great articles. I still like to see your stuff when it's up, read it, good writer. So how's the writing part going? I know you were working on a book. Did that?
Oh, yeah. That's in a drawer, just kind of not doing anything, really. It's just
you got a couple of other pins you want to stick it on while we're here?
Well, I just, what happened?
No,
what happened?
The bottom dropped out of it creatively, I guess. Nothing was coming up, and I decided I'm going to step away from it. And I still do it in journals.
Right, yeah.
So Dear Diary.
Yeah, for sure.
Today I'm sad. etc.
I'm sad I went on this podcast.
I think what David is saying, he would like to read your journals. If you have any of those available,
I would have brought one. You know,
you
if I
just
would've
ship
known
it to him.
Yeah, that'd be great. I was interested in the book because you described it to me at the time, and I thought it was like sounded awesome. So
You're still going on about the book.
maybe
Yeah.
I want the book. I would like the book to come back.
I'm
That's what
afraid of it, you know?
Yeah,
It's like when
yeah.
you do something you put that much time into, you're kind
Yeah.
He doesn't want to pull a Stephen King and have a bad ending.
There you go. Well, I do applaud that decision, and that's not bad. But yeah, well, hopefully one day that'll come
I
back.
think so.
But right now, the big thing is you're in a band. So
Yes.
why don't you talk about that? How you met those guys, and I mean, what's going on with you guys right now?
For sure. I've been playing bass since I was 12, 13, something like that. And about 4 years ago, I stopped doing it and didn't really study. And then I moved here. My fiance bought me an upright bass for
Nice.
a birthday / Christmas present, combo gift. She always makes fun of me because I give her crap for it.
I feel you on that one. My birthday's Christmas Eve. So.
Oh, so you know combo gifts.
Yes.
You're totally
my
aware.
least favorite word in the English language is slash.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
here's a
I
Christmas
understand.
/ birthday present.
I understand. Not the guitarist Slash.
No.
Do you dislike Slash just because his name is Slash?
I'm on the fence about it.
I hate his hair. But yeah, and then I moved.
Stupid hat.
Then I moved here, and long story short, I ended up buying an electric bass amp, and I hit up Charlie. Charlie is someone I interviewed when I first moved here when I was writing
Okay.
in a band he was in, and I was just asked him on Facebook Messenger, "Hey Charlie, do you need a bass player?" And it just so happened at that time, the person, whoever it was, playing bass for him, couldn't make the show and stopped playing, and he's like, actually, come on in. And
Nice.
kind of serendipitous, really.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, and that's how that started, and then we just played together a lot. Our first show was a frat party, where that video right there.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty hopping party right there.
Yeah, definitely interesting. And then from there, we've just been covering ground. So
Wow. So, okay. So you guys, I mean, and the big thing, like, which blew my mind is you guys, so you have your lead song out. What's it called? Silver Sun?
Silver Sun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really, I mean, if you guys have not heard it, we've tweeted it out. It's an amazing song, but it got featured on Huffington Post. Like,
Yes.
I mean, how does that happen? Like, are you even aware of how that happened? I mean, that's pretty big. I mean,
That's Charlie pulling some strings. You know, he takes it very seriously. So he's out there hitting the ground, contacting people, trying to see where he can go. You know,
Right.
and
Yeah, the few people I know that have made it in the music industry said it's 90% marketing, and so yeah, he's doing a good job then. If
yeah,
he got that far.
Yeah, he is. He really is, and it's something I believe in, and he does. So why not try to push for people to hear it if it's something you really want people to hear?
Yeah.
So do you believe that it's 90% marketing? Are you in on that? As a musician?
I believe it helps. As far as 90%, do you want me to give you? I can give you a percentage. Let's go with 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
60.
Because have you heard a lot of the music on the radio now? That's a lot of marketing.
yeah,
So,
for sure. Yeah.
But I don't consider that music. I mean, just me personally, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I don't.
Maybe
I
that's
think
just me.
that's. But see, I don't like when people say that because a lot of these artists are like even pop artists. I believe most of them, not all of them, but I believe most of them are making music that they think is good. You know, I think that they think it's good. They want to put it out there. I mean, yeah, there's some people that
They've
don't.
been
But,
hanging out in the monkey house too
but
long.
even like a Justin Bieber, I mean, I think he makes songs that aren't for us. But I believe when he goes into the studio, he's trying to make a good song. You know,
I mean, obviously a lot of people like pop
Yeah,
music.
for
That's
sure, yeah.
where it gets its name. but
Right.
I don't,
but you just don't accept.
I don't
that
think
as music.
it's music. I think it's like some other kind of social phenomenon.
Huh.
Honestly, like because I mean, I don't know.
What crosses that bar for you? What makes it music and what's not music and what's music?
Oh,
I think music has a purpose. It like touches you on that artistic level, whereas like I don't know. Maybe I'm just old and Justin Bieber.
So you
maybe
can't-
Justin Bieber is touching people like that.
In other words, you can't really give it a definition. It's just a preference.
No, it's definitely like I
Well,
can.
what's that defdefinition? That's what I'm asking.
I just gave you the definition. You just didn't like it.
So, John, what do you agree with Lee or not? What I mean is a what'd you say, social phenomenon? I like that. We should start.
I know
calling
there's
it,
a question about.
yeah.
it.
We should start
what do
calling
you
music social phenomenon. What do you think? I mean, is music music? Like, or can you? break it down, or is it just good music, bad music? Or?
I think it's just a spectrum of preference. Music is kind of music. I don't like pop music, most of it, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, I get the appeal of it. It's perfect. It sounds perfect. It sounds really big and huge and full, and it's catchy, and it's like I equate it to junk food. It's kind of
there you
like,
go.
Here's MSG music.
Yeah.
And you can't help but like it. And sometimes I'll catch myself. I'm in a waiting room somewhere, and I'm just kind of like, oh man, I was just enjoying that. And it grabs you. It knows.
Right. Yeah. I mean, okay. Obviously, it's music, and I think that what you said was perfect, especially with the junk food. And the point is, like, you can be a craftsman and you can be an artist. Okay, and like with craft, you can make an excellent chair, but that doesn't mean you're capable of making art. For me, real music is art. That is the purpose of music, is to be that bridge between the soul and the flesh. And modern music lacks all soul, you know. But you're not gonna see. I lost my train of thought.
Well, I feel when we went into the studio, we wanted to record an album, not singles, you know. I feel like maybe a lot of musicians now, because it just takes that one song to put you out there, to make you seem like this huge, larger than life person. All it takes is one song. And that's all I feel like maybe some people feel like they need, and maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know any of these people personally, so I can't say what they think, but
sure you can. Why don't you try?
And but when we went in, I wanted to write an album because I think there's a lost art in creating an album, like and I don't even mean, you know, maybe an album that's a story from first song to last song. I just mean maybe a cohesive set of songs that maybe individually don't sound great, but when you hear them collectively, you're like, oh man, this is a great album. I think that's more important than maybe writing a hit song and then that being all you do.
Right.
It's just that one song.
What's crazy, yeah, because Radiohead could have fallen into that trap. I mean, they had that massive single Creep, and then it seems as they've gone further along, I mean, I love Radiohead. They've tried to distance themselves as far away from that single as possible, you know, where they don't even want to play it at concerts anymore or for the fans, which is crazy, which has probably weeded out some of those casual fans.
They're just hipsters.
I get they're old hipsters. They're older than us. I mean, so are they really hipsters? Or
yes, they're hipsters.
Well,
they're hipsters about their own music. They're like, we liked ourselves better before we were cool.
Well, later on, we got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I hope you have it pulled up, and we'll talk about that a little bit later and what we think of the bands involved. But back to this. So you're making an album.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
It's made. It's coming out in January.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
Okay. So tell me how. Number one, it's going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be available on all the platforms that are out today.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So how do you go about and being in the band, and then how does Charlie go about? How do you guys go about promoting an album in this day and age and letting people know about it? Like
playing out. You know, playing live really is super important. It gets your face in front of people. It gives people something to look at and go, oh, those are the dudes I hear on Apple Music or on Spotify or whatever. And then it's just honestly, you know, the double-edged sword of social media, where it could look like a sewage pipe on one side, but on the other side, it's something that you're flushing your songs out to people too. So I feel like just social media presence, hitting it hard, telling people, talking about it nonstop.
Do you have a favorite place you like to play here in Nashville, or any venues that stand out?
Not a favorite place, because I haven't, we've played quite a few places, but not enough to really, I can't decide a favorite right now, but the favorite of what I've played, maybe Springwater.
Yeah.
Springwater's pretty cool.
Yeah, we've got to play Springwater because us three used to be in a band. And Springwater was always fun. It's an interesting place where one time we played there and people were doing cocaine in the back while we're leaving. We're like, all right, yeah, it's a party here.
People,
who
is this guy in the mirror doing cocaine right now?
He looks like me.
Yeah, that was a fun one. But there's still some spots around town that have a lot of historical, like the 5 Spots one where we got to play, and that's got a lot of value too. That's where Lady Gaga played when she came in. So yeah, there's some cool little places in town.
The Basement OG, in my opinion, is one of the cooler venues to go see music at.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I want to play the regular Basement. I haven't played. We've played Basement East.
Okay.
And jumping back to the Springwater, we're actually playing a show this Friday at the Springwater.
There you go.
Interestingly enough, not just because I didn't make the Springwater my favorite place for that plug.
There you go.
That's December 22nd.
Yes.
December 22nd.
Yeah, got to get that out. I mean, this episode comes out tonight, and it'll be available tomorrow. So, Springwater, what time does the show start?
Doors at 8.
Okay.
Burlesque dancers at 9.
Nice. Okay.
Band starts at 10. It's a PBR sponsored party.
Wow.
Free. It's free to get in.
Whoa.
And the PBR's free?
I don't know about that.
You're buying people PBR.
Well, it's it's $1 a
if
pitcher.
You ask me
so,
nicely, yeah, I definitely will.
Yeah, it's nothing too extravagant there, but the PBR was always cheap at Springwater, so that was another good thing to do. Back to Slash real quick. It's just popped in my head, and I wanted to get to it. I mean, the rumor is...
You're welcome.
The rumor is this guy's bald. I mean, what have you heard this before?
What, is his hair sewn into his hat?
They say it's a hairpiece. They say it's a hairpiece, and the hat's like sewed on top. Like, that would be...
For how long, though?
For years.
For like Cold November Rain, the video?
No, I think a little bit after that. But
like, who cares? Like, how...
But it's his own look.
When has Slash been relevant outside of the, like, 90s?
I mean, I guess not real. I mean, he had Slash's Snake Pit, and then they did Velvet Revolver. I mean, it was not too long ago, but...
So he was bald during Velvet Revolver.
I just said that's a rumor.
Theory.
That's a rumor, not a theory. It's a rumor that's out there.
Welcome to the hair club. We've got fun and games.
And then Sammy said in the chat, Bret Michaels is bald. So it's just funny that rock stars
You just want to go through all the bald people in the world?
That are hiding it. Sure, if you have a list.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, so...
to get him in there.
Well, what a good way to be inconspicuous when you go out, though.
Right, that's true.
Because he takes his hat off, and people are like, man, that looks like Slash. But Slash has, like,
yeah,
really
he has
long
that hair, man. It can't
that
be
dude
him.
is bald. That is not Slash.
That's Slash's grandfather.
That's funny.
So, and allegedly, from what I've heard, the Stones are still touring today. And I've heard they've actually put out an album recently, a blues album that's supposed to be as good as their early stuff. So that's hard to believe because the last really good Stones album was like 1981, Some Girls. So that's almost been 40 years.
So they came to Nashville like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And everyone that went to it said it was an amazing show. I didn't get to go, unfortunately. But they said it was an amazing show.
I just remember them at the Super Bowl halftime show, and it was terrible. It was not good.
Bad.
Oh, it was really bad. Like Ron Wood was walking over to God bless.
The cocaine guitar player.
Yeah, I can't even think of his name. Oh, Keith Richards. And he was there like, what are the chords? You could see him going, what are the chords of this song?
Oh, my God.
I was like, what? This is a classic, guys. This is like a Satisfaction or something. You should know how to play this song. So
it's just like, okay, computer, man. They don't want to play that stuff no more.
Yeah, I don't want to play it anymore. Well, apparently they did. So anyway, so you got this album coming out. Is there a name for the album at this point?
It's in works. We had one going, and then collectively we're like, that's not a good idea.
Okay.
So we're changing it up.
Okay, so just
to be determined, but it's definitely coming out next year. At the January
next year. Yes, that's crazy. Yeah, next year is literally like just a couple weeks away. But so what is there a theme to the album, or is it just rock and roll, or
just rock and roll?
Yeah,
just songs that are not overly done. When we went and recorded, we recorded ensemble. We recorded live. The drummer was in a drum room. My bass amp was in a guitar room. Charlie's guitar was in a guitar room, and we all played like we were playing live.
I love that. I think that's the
best
way to do it.
Yeah, I mean that's how
almost not even with the rooms, like just.
Well, when we recorded, we were like 10 feet from each other in some guy's basement. So it was but that's the way to do it. What sounds come from this album? Who would you say are there any bands that stand out kind of similar to or influenced by that might shape this album? Or even you as a bass player, who are some people that have influenced you just as a bass player alone?
Okay. I guess it's kind of 90s grunge-ish.
Yeah. Hey, man, 90s grunge is in right now.
Yeah, and it's really rock and roll. And bass players that have really inspired me is the guy from Shellac. Can't remember his name right now. It's Steve Albini. He's the one that engineered In Utero, Nirvana's In Utero. He's been in Big Black and other bands. But Shellac, his bass player, is his tone, the way he plays, the way he attacks the bass and everything. Is super. I draw a lot of influence from that. And also, I mean, any bass player will say James Jamerson, dude that recorded bass on almost all the Motown songs.
Okay, yeah, for
ever.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So. That's
Yeah.
a couple. I mean,
There you go. That's not bad. We got a bass. Lee's a bass player.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
2 bass players. I don't know about
I
this.
want to be bass player. That would be cool to be a bass player, you know.
Well,
You're on your way.
you literally played bass on 2 albums, and you have a stand-up bass behind
I've
you.
played
so
more than on
bass.
2, actually, but that's
Okay,
fine.
yeah, you did,
Technically, but three bands, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe no.
Money
maybe
Pants,
4.
Chump Change.
I think
guess I
after
was
3
Pop
bands, you're a
Stars.
bass player now.
I was like in a bluegrass band when I lived in North Carolina, kinda.
Yeah, so he moved up to the mountains of North Carolina, like after. Why don't you tell well, he hiked the Appalachian Trail, the entire thing.
You
from,
through hiked it?
I did.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was cool.
From where? Where
Congrats.
did you start? Where'd you end up
From,
at?
Georgia to Maine.
Right. And so he
6
comes
months journey.
back with his beard. I mean, good God, man, this massive beard. He weighs like 100 pounds. He had lost obviously like 30 or 40 pounds, it looked like.
He looked like a young Willie Nelson. Let's be honest.
That would have been cool.
But during that, you came to live in North Carolina, in the hills of North Carolina. Talk about this band. You said one of the guys was the sheriff of the town or something like that?
This
Yeah,
is already
so-
good.
It was the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, and how did I see? I saw it like I don't even know. It must have been on the internet. It had to have been like a Craigslist or actually I think it was a. They still send me. It's a website called like for bandmates or something. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Not really.
I don't know. So I saw an ad and I was like, okay. And this guy was like a painter and he raised like chickens and he was like country, and his son was a sheriff.
Yeah.
And he lived on the very top of this mountain. So I would go to practice and I'm like winding through the hills all the way to the very top. And actually his they were really good. They were really good.
Your first time there, were you kind of worried judged by the drive? You're kind of like, what is happening up here?
You kind of get used to that where I lived
Gotcha.
in North Carolina because pretty much everything was kind of that way.
Okay.
When you opened your car door when you got out, did you hear dueling banjos?
Well,
They should have been messing with
maybe
you
once
playing
or
it. Yeah.
twice. The weird thing was like there was it was a bluegrass band, kind of a bluegrass slash classic country.
Slash.
Because the thing is, if you were in North Carolina and you played bluegrass, people will just show up and they will listen for as long as you play.
Oh,
It doesn't matter where, doesn't matter who. If you start playing bluegrass, people just suddenly start randomly showing
They
up.
like pop out from
Yeah.
underneath the table. Whoa.
Yeah. You're like, whoa, even that. So if you're a band in North Carolina,
The
it
Pied
pays-
Piper of Bumpkins.
It definitely pays to be a bluegrass band. But we had a drummer in a bluegrass band,
Yeah.
and he was a horrible drummer.
So what'd you do? I mean, just kept him around, or
He didn't really show up all that often, so it
Okay.
wasn't that much of a problem.
Right.
But when
Yeah.
he did, it was like, yeah, what? I guess they were just being nice to him. I don't
Can you
know.
play like quieter? Just a little bit quieter.
can we move?
Here,
you?
like when you don't actually hit the drum, just like pretend to.
I mean, I couldn't really say anything because I'm not that good of a bass player, so I can't be like, "Yo, drummer, you suck," because then they'd be like,
You're not bad. I think you just keep saying that, but.
Well, I mean, compared to like you were saying, like, you see other bass players and you look up to them and you're like, oh, I want to play that, and then I sit down to play it and it just doesn't come out the same.
It's inspiring to me when I see if we're playing or I just go see a band playing and their bass player is just phenomenal. I'm like, I'm gonna be better than that dude one day. I'm gonna work and I'm gonna be better than that guy. That's just how it is.
No,
And
I agree. That I say that every time too. It never works
That's
out.
the goal, huh?
It never works out.
I'm jealous of anybody that can get motivated.
Well, here's the
The only thing that motivates me is when the microwave ding goes off. It's the only thing that gets me off the
John's
couch.
moving to the game.
Yeah.
Gotta get my grub.
Hot Pockets are ready.
But like people have talent, so eating, music,
Eating or music.
drinking
yes.
alcohol in copious amounts.
Yeah.
It's spread around.
There you
It takes all kinds to make the world go round.
Takes all
true.
kinds. Okay, so speaking of also you're an artist. So how long have you been doing that since you were just in high school? I mean, some of your drawings and stuff are really cool. Is that just something you've always done, or is
yeah,
it?
it's just another outlet, honestly.
Yeah.
Just something else to release the demons that may be flying around
Yeah.
up there. Just nothing serious about it. Just
What's
post it. And
what's the name? No, you got a company. Were you doing T-shirts for a while? Are you still involved with?
still
the
doing it, but it's not my company.
Yeah, but you were just with them.
Yes.
You want to
yes.
give them a shout out?
Sure. South
Okay.
by Sea. That's actually where we recorded our album.
Really?
South by Sea. It's a screen printing shop and a recording studio.
Really?
/ record label kind of thing.
That's here in town.
Mhm.
Oh
On the
wow,
east side,
I've never
of
heard
course.
of it. That's cool. Yeah, when we first met you, I was like, this guy's totally from East Nashville. And you're like, nope, not from East Nashville. I was like, well, that was a shocker.
I lived in Bellevue at the time.
I know, that was crazy. But that was our big thing. Like, he looks like he's from East Nashville. But
now I live east of East Nashville.
There you go. But yeah.
So what was your path brought you to Nashville? I take it you're not a native, right?
No, I'm from Florida and just fleeing Florida one.
Everyone eventually flees from Florida.
And just there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on there. I mean,
yeah.
Not nothing, because then it wouldn't be a state and then it wouldn't exist. But just nothing, no opportunities.
A lot of weird stuff.
I just ask Lee about Alabama. I mean,
that's right. Well, it's like I heard somebody say, I think it was Mark Maron said that basically Florida is all the weirdos are trying to just keep moving, and they get to Florida and they run out of room, so they all just got to set up shop there. That's why it's such a weirdo place. But yeah, I mean, you always hear weird stories from Florida.
Some people have described Florida as the way it's shaped.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. So I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you made it here.
Shaped?
I forget the end of the joke.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Let's while we're here, and
I'm not apologizing for Florida next week.
We got a couple.
I wouldn't either.
We got a couple of musicians here. Why don't you pull up the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year? If you guys don't know, the inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame have been finalized this year. Now, Radiohead was nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I'm just going to tell you right now, they didn't make the cut this year. But these are the bands that actually made it, and we'll discuss these after I read them all. We got Bon Jovi, The Cars, Dire Straits, The Moody Blues, Nina Simone, and Sister Rosetta Tharpe are the class of 2018 inductees. So let's just start. I love The Cars, so I'll start with them.
Yeah. It's my favorite of the list right there.
We used to describe our band as The Cars minus the synths and everything. That was kind of like a big influence on me. So, just catchy, poppy
kind of rock. With The Cars minus the music, man.
So let's start with Bon Jovi. Like, is this surprising to all of you that Bon Jovi's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Now, should it be? No, definitely not. Like, if Bon Jovi doesn't make it, who does?
What?
Yeah. I mean, I don't like all of his music.
Yeah.
But he has been doing it for. Now, do they go by merit or just by how long you've been doing it?
I think by merit. It's just the only qualifiers you have. It's have to have been 25 years since your debut album came out.
Okay.
So that's why Nirvana just got in last year, 2 years ago, or something like that. It was pretty recent, but yeah. So Bon Jovi gets in. Does this clear the way for other hair metal bands?
But I remember vividly as a child, me and you would go around singing Bon Jovi songs.
What songs?
Living on a Prayer.
Well, who doesn't? I mean, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That's an iconic. Who doesn't know Bon Jovi's "Living on a Prayer"?
Well, yeah. I mean, but is that right?
Yes, that's rock and roll.
Justin Bieber being one day then, because all the kids know his songs.
I cannot name you one Justin Bieber song.
You can't because you're too old. But I'm talking about the kids his age are gonna think of him as maybe the Bon Jovi of his day. I don't know.
He'll probably get into the fake music Hall of Fame then. He'll probably be the first inductee.
Okay. LL Cool J was up. He did not make the cut. So I don't know what's up with that.
How is LL Cool J rock and roll anyway?
Well, it's really, they say rock and roll, but it's Music Hall of Fame because who got in? Public Enemy got in last year, I believe. So
I would have been happy to see L Squared get in there.
Yeah, I mean, he's more influential than Bon Jovi is.
I disagree with you there.
For hip hop,
rock and roll.
No, for music. Period.
To music. Oh, he's huge in the hip hop, man. He's one of the first MCs of all time.
I understand
Bon Jovi's just another hair band from New Jersey. I
wouldn't say they're just another hair metal band. They were like the hair metal band.
They had like 3 good songs, if you want to call them good songs. What are they? Go ahead. Tell me what they are. You Give Love a Bad Name.
Living on a Prayer.
Living on a Prayer and
Shot Through. That's
Bad Medicine. Is that the other one?
Yeah, Bad Medicine. But those are all off of one album.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. All right. So Bon Jovi's in. What about Dire Straits? Thoughts on?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I think they should dance in. Really.
I think Dire Straits is technically a better band than Bon Jovi and the Cars if you put them together.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
The Dire Straits, man, they could.
No,
they have
Knopfler.
some music.
Yes, Knopfler is one of the. You hear his guitar licks, you know it's him immediately. Like he is one of the great guitar players of all time. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying, if you're telling me which one I like better, it's the Cars, man. I mean, come on. the Cars' first album is like one of the greatest albums ever put out.
Let's your agenda. Let's name 3 Cars songs, man.
Just What I Needed, Best Friend's Girl,
Magic.
So no one knows
Drive.
what you're talking about.
Yep.
Do you know what they're talking about?
Candy O. I mean, come on, dude. The Cars. Yeah.
I was in a punk band and we covered Cars songs.
See,
so.
we covered Cars in our band, so there you go. Okay, the Moody Blues, I don't know much about. I mean, I know the name. I couldn't tell you. Honestly, right now, $1 million for one Moody Blues tune, I wouldn't be able to help you
I
out.
bet if we pull it up. What was it?
If I walked away from the Moody Blues, if someone offered me $1 million, I wouldn't.
I'd just say, well, keep your money today, sir. I was like, obviously, I guess they were. Honestly, I cannot.
Can you cover your eyes while I check my smartphone?
Yeah, I got a call. I just need a Tuesday afternoon.
Can I phone a friend?
Yes. I'm just a singer.
I don't know if these are actually
I don't even know what these songs
Ride My
are.
Seesaw.
There's a top 10 Moody Blues
Nights
songs.
in White Satin, of course.
Yeah, there we go. Ride My Seesaw. All right, awesome. So anyway, Moody Blues on there. Nina Simone's on there as well. I guess she's influential. And once again, someone I'm not really familiar with. And then Sister Rosetta Tharpe, which once again, the last 3 I couldn't tell you much about. But
congratulations to them.
Yeah, congratulations.
So they have like different like sections of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Do they? Are you asking?
Yeah, I'm asking.
It's literally it started off as rock. Now it's just literally music. Like
why?
How is Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Then they should be in immediately.
I think they need to change their name
just to the Music Hall of Fame.
If it's not rock and roll, then you don't go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's that simple.
But
right?
isn't hip hop rock and roll?
Yeah.
Hip hop is modern rock and roll.
Hip hop is not rock and roll. Hip hop is hip hop. That's why they call it hip hop.
Name me some rock bands out today then that are good, that are influential. You can't do it, but hip hop artists, I can name you tons that are more rock and roll than rock and roll is.
It's not rock and roll though.
I think rock.
I understand what you're saying. Like the hip hop scene has definitely introduced more electric guitars in their music in the current day climate than ever in the past. But that doesn't make it rock and roll.
They're modern day rock stars, man. Like,
okay, is that what it is?
Is it the attitude?
Is it the lifestyle or the actual music?
It's the music. I mean, Kanye West, Jay-Z, they're making like cutting music today. That rock doesn't do.
Them, is your music rock and roll? You think they would say yes?
Yeah, some of them would. You know, I mean, I don't know. Some of them wouldn't. I guess it depends on who you're talking to. But anyways, I don't know. I'm not blown away by this list, honestly.
Well, who would you like to see on it?
You know, Kiss isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is a travesty. I mean, you're not going to put Kiss in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You got to be.
I thought they were.
No, they're not.
I mean, I believe you. I just assumed that they would be.
Right. The Ramones just got in not too long ago, really. I'm like, what? So I don't know who all is in, but I know for sure Kiss isn't in. Ted Nugent isn't in. He said it's because the founder of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is like just a liberal shill, and like he'll never let Ted Nugent in. And he was just listen to it. Just go find his commentary on that. It's so hilarious. He's just like, kiss my ass. I never want to be in your stupid Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
See, I don't even know who's in or not. Is the Clash in?
The Clash surely is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, man. If not,
I'm trying to think of ones that I definitely.
Aerosmith is in, right?
Aerosmith's got to be in. I mean, Aerosmith is one of the 3 greatest American rock bands of all time, right? I mean,
what about the Eagles?
It's not saying much about great American rock and roll now, is it?
I'm sure. Oh, early Aerosmith. You're talking.
So you don't have a problem with Bon Jovi, but you love early Aerosmith.
Go listen to On the Rocks or all those Toys in the Attic.
Like, dude, looks like a lady.
No, that's later, man.
Loving an elevator.
No, that's later.
Throw me some bone, then. What are we talking
Dream
about?
On. Dream On,
Sick as a Dog.
Walk This Way it was remade, but it was originally one of their old ones.
That's true. They got a ton of good hits, man.
And they tied in rock and roll with hip hop.
There you go. See,
brought together. Right?
They probably started this. If you want the truth, I mean,
why don't we just say they tied rock and roll in with rock and roll then?
Good. There you go. Why? They tied in the white man's rock and roll, the black man's rock and roll coming together.
Why you got to bring race into it?
Well, the majority of hip hop artists are black. I didn't make that rule up.
All right.
Is Eminem corny now? Like, are we to the point where I'm like, I used to love this guy, and now I'm just like, all right, man.
Eminem
go sit down.
Eminem
in the corner.
crossed over to fake music a long time ago.
I think Eminem became less cool when you dyed your hair blonde.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, I heard about. I heard about that.
Wow, that would be when his first album. What's crazy is Eminem just did an interview and said that he uses apps like Tinder and Grindr to go find dates.
Grinder?
Grinder.
Eminem is going to say anything that will garnish him attention.
Do you think he knows what Grinder is?
Yes.
After he had a big spiel about
Maybe,
homosexuals.
yeah, maybe it was just something
I
to
dig.
get you kind of like.
Talk about?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Did he say Grinder?
He said Grinder.
You're saying,
yeah.
Did he say Grinder?
What's wrong with people using Grinder?
It's nothing wrong if he...
Sounds like you got a little bit of a problem.
But if you have a history of anti-homosexual lyrics, I mean, I guess it makes sense,
he rapped
actually.
about
I guess.
murdering his wife and riding around with her in the car. He didn't actually do that.
That's true. I mean,
It's true.
He probably thought about it, but the constant...
Maybe that's when he was thinking about it a whole lot.
Right. but anyway, I just want to say Eminem been in the news. I'm just done. I'm not even going to get the new album. I could care less. He's just like...
Have you gotten all his past albums?
Yeah.
Because I stopped at like Slim Shady EP2.
No, I've gotten them all up to now, and I don't know.
I guess that just... okay. Did you buy all the Eminem albums?
I didn't buy a single
Did you buy all the Eminem albums?
I bought the Slim Shady LP and the Marshall Mathers LP, and those are the only two.
Okay.
His first two.
I bought like his first three. Did you have blonde tips?
No.
Did you have blonde tips?
No way.
I didn't have blonde
I didn't have blonde tips.
It's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
it was the whole thing. It
whole
wasn't blonde
thing.
tips, dude. Come on.
I think all I'm saying is maybe you feel a kindred spirit with Eminem that goes beyond
but
the
Eminem,
music.
Eminem's a lot like Weezer to me, where like I loved Weezer like with all my heart and soul.
You got me with the Weezer. I agree with
And
that.
I kept giving him a chance and like after a certain album, it's just like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah, it's
like
kind of like someone that won't quit drinking. You're like,
Yes.
I gotta leave you.
Yeah.
Or whatever their problem is. Yeah.
I mean, that's sad to me, but it's like, is it? Then I get back into this whole thing. Are kids listening to Weezer going, this is pretty good?
Yes.
Unaware of the Blue Album and Pinkerton, you
Yes.
think? That's so wild to me.
Yes.
Or I wonder if they're hearing the new music and people like us are like, check out the Blue Album.
Right.
And then they go check out the
I
Blue
would hope
Album
so.
and they're like, oh, this is Weezer.
No,
Yeah.
they're probably like, this is horrible.
Yeah, the new
Like
stuff's
you
way
said
better.
earlier, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you're an old geezer if you like the Blue
I
Album.
guess that's true. Huh.
What are they talking about? Sweaters.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
Perception.
Especially I got kids. I guess I'm going to see, but my kids
It
still
doesn't even
like
have the words El Scorcho in this song.
yeah, it does at the beginning.
Yeah.
My kids, it's gonna be interesting, but they still like classic rock right now. Like they're big on the Beatles kick. So,
I'm sure that doesn't have anything to do with their dad ramming it down their throat.
I mean, it's just good stuff, man. I mean, you can ram the Beatles down anybody's
I didn't
throat.
say it was a bad thing. I'm
Right.
just saying. I'm sure that had something to do with it.
But I always say if I meet someone they don't like the Beatles or AC/DC, I don't know. I'm suspect. So, Josh, do you like either of those bands?
I like the Beatles and AC/DC. I respect what they do, but
Okay.
I don't like them as a band.
Okay.
And the guy, whatever he wears, just kind of creeps me out.
Axel Young.
Yeah,
Those-
it freaks
those
me
shorts.
out. Yeah.
You just Michael Anthony's going to correct you. Did you say Axel Young?
Yeah, I guess that's good.
Oh no,
Angus, my bad.
Angus Young. Yeah,
Angus.
we're gonna get a tweet about that one for sure.
I caught it before. You don't have to tell us, Michael.
It looks like you will have
I'm
to
on top of
I
apologize
it.
know.
about
You
something
have
next
to write that down. Okay, so as you go forward, you got any good stories like that frat party when you were playing that? I mean, what was happening? That looked like Bro Central. Like,
it was. But they, I went in there thinking like, oh god, these guys.
Right.
But they were actually super hospitable.
Okay. Wow.
Very hot. And then there was a crawfish boil, so we were eating crawfish.
Nice.
When we first got there, they're like, what kind of beer do you want? And we told them, and they sent one of their pledges to go get us beer and
Wow.
cigarettes. Yeah. And they went and got them, and they're like, if you need anything else, have this guy go get it for you.
See, David's just
Oh, here we
asking
go.
this because he's never been to a frat party, so he really wants the inside skinny.
No.
So he wants to like live that experience.
No,
through
no,
you.
no, no, no,
So
no.
come up with
David doesn't want to live a frat party. He wants to live a sorority party. Let's be honest.
I mean, there were many sorority girls there. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just a product of a frat
Right.
party, that just they come because there's a party.
So we know you got a fiance. So not for you, but are the other two guys? Are they single in the band, or they got ladies as well?
Charlie has a girlfriend,
But the
and
drummer does not.
does
So
not.
how is he like? How is that local scene treating? Number one, he's a drummer, so that's already a plus for him. But is that treating him good? How is the local scene for single dudes that were thinking about starting a band, or the ladies like coming after? Because you guys, like I said, you have a really good sound, a good look. So are people coming to you after the show, talking to you, and then making their way back to the drummer? Have you found that yet, or are you not at that stage yet?
No.
Really?
Well, he's not
See
very.
what I told you.
Yeah, I think a lot of it also has to do with personality. So.
Right. What are the personalities of the band? I mean, what are the personalities
that could be so dangerous, right?
Yeah.
There.
How would you sum up you three as a band, like personality? Who is who? And obviously, I mean, Charlie looks like he's the front man, obviously, but I mean, he's got the front man attitude. It sounds like. So, how would you describe you and the drummer as far as a makeup of a band, personalities? Are you in the band? Are you like laid back? Are you kind of?
I'm pretty laid back. The drummer and I clash quite a bit. I mean, I'm sure that's
so he's uptight.
Yeah, and Charlie,
I was like that with the bass player in our band.
He's talking about me, in case you're wondering.
Oh, did you play drums?
In one of the bands, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I get your comment.
I was right, and he was.
Yeah, no, but and Charlie's great frontman.
Right.
He's not not pretentious or pompous or doesn't wear the like rock star uniform or anything, just goes up there and does it. And I'm laid back. I like to be the bass player in my own little world,
right?
My own little box,
right?
Doing my thing.
So is that something you discuss? Like, we never really did. We never said, hey, we're going to do this when we get on stage, do this, do that. I think we just kind of knew each other for a long time as well. But how detailed is your
a little too long.
Yes.
We have pictures where we're standing back to back.
That's true. That's a good picture.
Actually, there's a scene in the video.
Yeah.
Of you two playing back to back.
So
we literally before would be like, we're going to do the back to back thing.
And said, yep.
Yeah.
And I said, somebody get a picture, please, and they did one time.
Anyway.
So image. How important is your image? Do you talk about your image? Do you talk about your show? Or is it just organic? I mean,
we just go up there and do it.
Yeah.
Because I feel that's if you talk about it, people will see it.
Yeah.
One way or another. Because if you do slip and you're not that image, people will notice immediately. Like, oh, what? That's not what they usually do. Yeah. So we're just ourselves, and if people like it, cool. If not, then they don't. I mean, I'd rather someone like us or not like us than be indifferent.
For sure.
So what you're saying, you let the music talk for you.
Exactly.
Get that sound bite.
Thank you for summing that up.
Lee getting the sound
music
bite
is like 90% of your stick, right? Is what you're saying.
Yes. That is actually a better percentage. Music is 90% of our image.
Oh my goodness.
Well, so if you need a marketing man, let me know. I know a couple.
Apparently
you can work on some back-to-back technique.
We'll give you that 60% space.
We've got moves, man.
Some crowd serving,
But what we used to do at the end of shows is I was heavily influenced by Nirvana. So at the end of shows, I would just launch myself into the drums every show. And these are like local shows with like 10 people there. And then I would end up throwing all my guitars and breaking a lot of them. So that was always a good time. Explain that.
Sometimes the forehead of a drummer.
Yep. I was like, that's hard.
That must be you as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He had one where Lee threw something at him. It was like, what was it?
It was a guitar stand.
It was a guitar stand. John looks up. He does
rock and roll stick.
Well, David had dove over the drum set, and the thing is, the drum set is about this far away from the back wall, and so he's kind of pinned. So I'm like looking down, checking out on him. When I look up, there's a guitar stand flying at my forehead. And I guess when Lee threw it, I'm hoping that when he threw it, he didn't think it was going to actually hit me.
No, I think he did.
Well, here's the thing, man.
That's what he said.
Some people can handle rock and roll, right? And it's just like they accept the chaos and it becomes part of them. Some people can't handle it.
Hey, did I stop drumming when it hit me?
And
nope.
And you're bleeding all over the place.
And I'm bleeding.
That's rock and roll,
That
dude.
is rock and roll. Well, that's the best compliment we ever had. Is like there was a show. There was like 8 people there. And
I think it was that show.
We destroyed the set. I mean, the drums were the gun. And some guy walked up. He goes, "You guys did all this for 10 people? That's rock and roll." I was like, "All right, that's our highest compliment ever." It's like, we may not sound the best, but we can rock and roll. So there you go. Okay, so you got the album coming out in January. Mm-hmm. Then you're gonna just be playing live like nonstop.
Yeah.
Are we talking local? You going across the southeast, or have you planned it out that far?
We're just right now just sticking to Nashville. Trying to build that fan base up,
right?
And then from there, we're going to try to branch out and see where we go. You
Nice.
know, to see where it takes us. We're not lax about it, but we're also not
tied in,
forcing something to happen,
right?
Where it may be actually a bad decision because we're just making it happen because we want it to happen,
right?
So if I were to want to force myself on it, where could I find you online?
Yeah.
As far as our music, you can find Charlie on Instagram at Charlie Abbott Music. His music's on Spotify and I'm pretty sure Apple Music, just Charlie Abbott.
Wow, okay.
There's a hip hop artist out there with the same name. So
Not the hip hop.
Oh no.
It's
Not
kind of
the-
rock and roll. It's rock and roll hip hop, but it's the real.
so who
hip-hop.
would get in the Hall of Fame? Charlie Abbott, rock and
Roll
roll,
or it depends. I'd have to hear Charlie Abbott, the hip hopper. He might be good. I don't know. I'm gonna check this guy out on SoundCloud. Hey man, heard about you. Okay, so the main way to get music out these days, like playing live, and then obviously, because back in the day when we did it, this show our age, I'm sure you're familiar. It was MySpace was like the big thing. You know, you'd get your MySpace page, you'd put your songs up there, you'd have all your fans, and it seems like it's changed a lot, for better or for worse, for bands. But now, like you said, getting out there, but I guess Twitter, Instagram, you just gotta stay active on that stuff and just get people going. It's kind of
unless you have money to give to like a publicist and
Right.
etc.
Marketers.
Marketing, which is 90% of it.
right. Well, that's crazy. All right, so let's see. Now, do we have a Dear John this week?
We do.
Okay, so every week,
do a
Josh,
Dear
you're going to
John.
help us out here. We get people right in the show. They ask us silly questions or sometimes personal questions. I mean, who knows what the question's going to be? And then John here, he gives advice to people.
And then they run me down for whatever advice.
okay.
And
He's not that good at
Dave
it.
will say the
But
exact
anyway.
same thing, and Lee will say something completely different.
All right, so this is it's called Dear John. Oh no, that's the wrong. Here we go. There we go. Oh, there's that beginning we needed.
Yes. That's what we needed.
By the time you read these lines, I'll be gone.
All right, so it's time for Dear John, and then Josh is going to help out as well. This is a slash advice column this week.
Slash.
Only we had a slash outfit to let John wear. I think you should wear that one week now. We're going to make
You
it
should be
happen.
Slash for Halloween one year.
You should.
Bald cap.
Bald cap. Yeah,
Be bald Slash.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. No one would get it. It's the most hipster costume of all time, but okay. All right, Lee, go ahead.
All right, so
Read
this
the
one
question.
comes in. Dear John, my husband and I have been together 6 years. This Christmas will be our second year as a married couple. On Christmas morning, my husband goes over to his parents' house to open gifts with his siblings. They're all adults. The oldest two are almost 40, and both are single. I'm not invited and have never been invited to their home, despite living 5 minutes away because his mother is a hoarder. We're expecting our first child in April. My husband works in law enforcement and is typically not off the entire day on Christmas. He calls me selfish and accuses me of trying to ruin their family tradition when I tell him it needs to end. I do not appreciate my husband taking off on me for 4 hours every Christmas morning. I want us to start our own traditions. Am I wrong? From once our own traditions.
Uh-oh. This ought to be good, John.
Are you wrong for wanting to start your own traditions? No, I think that's a good thing. As far as him having his own, you're already with him for 4 years, been married for 2, and you're complaining about it now. It's something you knew about from the get-go. I think it's something you got to bear with it. As in the future, I mean, if his mom's a hoarder, do you want to take your child over there for future Christmases? I mean, is it going to be something that you consider safe and comfortable for your child? There are family members of mine that I would be leery about having my wife spend a copious amount of times in those homes. And so has nothing to do with how I feel about my wife. It's actually because I praise my wife above such things. So I think you should just kind of grin and bear with it. I mean, this is your family, your husband's family. Once he does lose his mom, she's gone.
This is bad, man.
So
Give him some sunglasses, put them on and say, deal with it. That's John's advice, right? Grin and bear it.
I think
Grin and bear
there's a lot of time during this season where you have to set aside for your family, and I think.
But that's her family now, John. They're married.
You know,
it's literally it's literally her in-laws.
You know what the dude needs to do? Tell her to put a pin in it.
Put a pin.
Put a pin
in
in
it.
Josh, do you think John's right on this? I mean,
I'm gonna have to disagree, John.
That's fine. I'm used to it, so yeah. I'd feel weird if you agreed with me. I'd be like, "What's going on here?"
What universe did I step in? Yeah, I think he needs to kind of like listen to his wife. You know, she's got an issue with it. I mean, they're not inviting her over because, well, the mom hoards, so you're embarrassed by it. But I feel like even if you're embarrassed by it, it doesn't matter. Your wife wants to be included, so even if you feel embarrassed, it's not really your embarrassment that's important. It's the fact that she wants to feel included. So if my fiance was like, hey, you never invite me, and I'm like, well, my mom's really a slob, I would just go, okay, well, be prepared. It's going to look like crap in this house, but don't judge me. Remember, you knew this when you married me.
Right.
So I think he should, grow up and just kind of listen to his wife and what she wants. I
think that's great. And to give some history, Josh used to write an advice column for us when we were at It's a Man's World, and so he knows a little bit. But John, so what if this guy was
also it's Christmas Day?
It's Christmas.
It's not like it's like December 13th. It's Christmas Day.
But what if he's a raging alcoholic when he met her, and he's just like, just got to accept my alcoholism, it's all good. Like, you're literally shutting off like a whole part of your family from, this is, like I said, the main thing about it. If it was a girlfriend, I mean, I'm not saying it's right then, but this is literally her family now, like whether she wants it to be or not. It's kind of weird. I mean, like, these 40-year-old dudes are getting together. They don't have any, they're single guys. And
it's super strange.
I mean,
it's super
strange. Oh, yeah, I guarantee it's an odd
No, you didn't agree.
You just said.
I did. I mean, the fact that she's a hoarder and all that—that's weird.
No, that's not the part.
But
that's
John,
weird at all.
wait a second, John. Your mom was a hoarder, right?
Yeah, and you could ask my wife how I felt about her visiting the house where my mom was living when we met.
Well, your wife says it's one thing to be invited and something totally different if you're not invited at all. Like, that seems to me like the bigger issue here. Why are you have you ever been to this house? I mean, I wish this person would write us back and say, have you ever been to this house? Like,
I mean, that's a big thing with most of the letters that we get. There's a lot of information that's left out.
I think there's a lot of this one to make a call on. I think Josh, I mean, he nailed it, man.
I thought his advice was actually pretty good. I don't know.
What more advice do you need? You need pictures of this house?
You just said that you wish that you would write back.
Well, I know, but not of that. I had bigger issues. Have you ever been to the house? Have you ever met the mother? I mean, you're married. Did she show up to the wedding? Like, did you kick her? Did he not invite her to the wedding? There's a lot of stuff going on here.
You think that there's something deeper going on here with the marriage?
I mean, yeah, it's not off to a good start, is what I would say. I mean, if you're already cutting her off from that part of your family.
Here's the other thing. If you're really like, oh, I'm concerned for your safety, then you shouldn't go.
That's
right?
True, yeah.
You should definitely start a new tradition and go like, hey, I'm going to come pick you up and you're going to come to my house and we're going to have the family over at my house and it's going to be very comfortable and things are going to, it's a break in tradition, but people are not comfortable because you live like a hoarder.
Yeah, or help your mother with her hoarding problem.
That's
true. In addition,
well, that's probably a harder
thing to do.
Hey, baby steps.
He has to do it.
There we go. That's the kind of.
What if she's like a shut-in and she can't get out?
Oh, what if? I don't know.
I don't know. What if?
Then it looks like she's alone on Christmas.
The Hoarding Christmas, the new novel by John Tortorello. Okay, so that was okay. So advice, pretty much, John says, deal with it, stick a pin in it.
I think it was grin and bear it.
Grin and bear it. There we go. Poor John. Did it just say poor John?
Yeah, it did say poor John.
Poor John.
All right, if you want to get your questions answered on the show by John, email us at bybpod@gmail.com, and me and Lee, if we have a guest, we'll try to correct it. Whatever.
So that's your wife?
That's his
I
wife.
like how she's like, she is not wrong.
That happens a lot.
She was giving you the answer.
She was literally trying to help you cheat on the test, and you still failed it miserably. John, I mean, it's almost to me, we haven't played this in a couple of weeks for one of us, but you literally just took the dude's side. You did not take the woman's side. Is it fair to say that? Lee, would you say?
I think he typically does.
Is it time?
Yeah.
Misogyny alert. Here we go.
Oh.
John, you just got hit with a misogyny alert for taking the man's side.
That's a bit of a stretch.
Oh, I don't think so.
I was taking the mother-in-law's side. You said I was taking the shut-in.
Even your wife gave you the answer.
Yeah.
You turned away.
Yeah. That was bad. All right. Well, that's, like I said, email us, bybpod@gmail.com, or messages on any of the social medias, and we can get to you. All right. Do you have any last stories you want to touch before we start winding down? Anything stood out this week or no? I mean, Star Wars came out. Obviously, you guys seen it. We're not going to talk about it, but me and John saw it. We both liked it. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And John, do you watch much movies, Netflix, TV, anything like that?
Yeah, but I'm not a Star Wars fan. So.
Are you watching anything right now that stands out? God, that's what happens when you're engaged. It's we. Yeah, it's a we, which is fine. If she's watching or listening, it's fine. Totally fine.
Totally fine.
She's going to be writing it next week.
Right, yes.
I just finished.
There's a new hit song called Backpedaling.
Stranger Things, just finished that. I actually got her into Arrested Development.
Really?
She didn't. She tried it and didn't really like it, and then I forced her to sit through it and tied her to a chair and didn't really do that. But she did sit through it, and she ended up thinking it was a very good show.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's a good cause there. It crazy me. It's crazy when people haven't seen that. And some people, talking to younger people and other people I know, haven't seen Seinfeld, an episode of it, which is just crazy. How do you exist at our age and not see just an episode? I'm not saying you have to watch every single, but you've never seen an episode of Seinfeld. It's just crazy. I don't know. But Robin said John converted her to the comic book world, the comic book movies. So there you go. Yeah, it is a we. It's so funny, when you start watching a series together, and then you find out your wife has been watching episodes because you log on and see that she's on episode 4 and you're on episode 2 going, what happened here? Oh, that must have just kept auto playing. I don't know what happened. Now you know what's up, man. You're watching these shows without me. It is a Netflix and marriage, man. It is a weird because
Netflix and marriage. I thought it was Netflix and chill. Now it's Netflix and marriage.
To us older people that are married, it's Netflix and marriage because we're actually watching the shows. But
yo, girl, you want a Netflix and marriage?
That's good. I like
Netflix
that.
and settle down.
We should write that. We should make that a T-shirt. Netflix and marriage. But Stranger Things was a big thing. I mean, I like the first season was all right. I haven't watched the second season, but it was all right. I mean,
started watching The Punisher, which
is
great.
It's good.
No spoilers, only saw the first episode.
And she was in Pennsylvania at the time I started watching it. I texted her. I was like, man, The Punisher is great. And she was like, you started watching it without me. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know. I didn't know. Please.
Flying home right now.
Just kidding. That was a test.
Please don't yell at me.
There you go. See? So I'm telling you, it happens in every relationship. That's how you know there's one person that watches without the other. That's all I'm saying.
Are you single? Are you married?
He's married. He just had a kid.
Yeah. That's right.
A month ago. Right. So he is.
Congratulations.
He should. I mean, are you watching much Netflix?
We just finised Stranger Things 2, and we kind of don't have a show to watch right now. Actually, it's kind of depressing.
Have you checked out Mindhunter?
No. I've seen that they were kind of promoting that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be good.
Maybe.
See, my problem is there's too much I want to watch, but I don't have to.
I spend more time looking than watching.
For real, who doesn't? You'll be there for 15 minutes going, what am I doing? I should just watch something. But especially late at night, you're like, well, this is too long. I wanted to watch something last night. I was like, oh, this is an hour and 40 minutes, man. I'll go to bed at 12. I can't do that. So I'm like, what's a 30-minute show I can watch? So I start watching a show called Easy, and it's from Joe Swanberg, who does kind of indie comedy dramas, and it's a series about relationships and how sex plays into it and how things. So it's decent. I mean, it's like a 28-minute thing. I can figure out the plot halfway through, but it's it's something to watch. Like I said, it's finding that one thing to watch where you don't have to look for 30 minutes. And the big one right now, there's a documentary on there called Voyeur. Have you guys heard of that one?
I have. I haven't seen it yet,
okay.
But it sounds.
Check it out. It's wild. You're just like, is this? It's like if you ever saw Exit Through the Gift Shop. It's a Banksy film, and halfway through it, you're like, what's happening right now? I'm like, is this real or is this kind of? Voyeur's kind of got that same feel to it. So yeah, watch. I'd like to know what you think about it. It's definitely an interesting watch show. It's kind of wild. So yeah, okay, cool. All right, so go ahead. Tell us all. You need to go ahead and plug your stuff here. So where can people find you? Where can people find the band? What can they look forward to? Just give it out.
Sure.
Tell about that show one more time.
Yeah, you can find me I'm usually on Instagram at I Use Words. You can find Charlie at Charlie Abbott Music. Charlie's music's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. You can search YouTube. Check out. He's got his albums on YouTube. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're going to get that novel written at some point.
Yeah, man.
We are. I mean, I don't care if it's 20 years.
David's going to ghostwrite it for you.
I might have to
Like,
come
just
over
give
and
it to me.
Just start sending me your journals, and I'll write the novel
I need
for
you to get inspired with this novel, because I remember when you described it to me, I was like, I must read this novel. I don't even remember what you told me. I just stayed in my brain like I want to read this book. I was like, it sounds so good, but maybe one day. We'll see.
I've heard writing a book is 35% marketing, so
there you go.
He did something right that day.
There you go. That one day he did. Well, he
Did
got me
something
excited
right.
about it. Yeah, for sure. All right, Josh. Well, we appreciate you coming on. We'll definitely be looking forward to this album. I'm going to go out and get some more of his music. I didn't realize it was all available here. I've looked at the website. I guess I didn't look at all of it, but yeah, I liked what I've heard. We'll put some links up to the song, and people are gonna like it. It's really good. You know, like if it was sucky, we'd just say, yeah, man, it's a song. But I mean, I really endorse it. Like, it's a really, really good tune, really catchy. I like the guitar riff, the bass, everything comes together. Great.
Cool. Thank you guys
music.
for having me. This is cool.
No, I'm glad you came
Hearing
out.
myself in headphones.
Yeah, and you might get some requests for autographs after this. Who knows? Who knows what?
So.
Who knows what might happen? Do we got anything else on the agenda, Lee?
I mean, we're not going to give the viewers the weekly life lesson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Every week on the show, we take a life lesson from the show called the Major Key Alert, and we have a lot of options tonight. So I'm excited to see where this goes. So here we go.
So let me give you a major key. Where is the key?
That is not the key. I want the key.
Give us the keys. So let me give you a major key.
And you really do have the key.
Everybody stand up right now. Everybody. I got the keys now.
All right, so it's time for the Major Key, inspired by DJ Khaled, pop artist today. And as you can see, Josh, some of the great ones down the road there. So we're going to try to pull a good one from this episode. Usually Lee and John get together and but you can jump on in, Lee. Anything kind of stand out? You had some good ones.
Something like music is either 10%, 40%, or 90%
marketing. I kind of dig that one. I like it. John, what are you thinking?
Sure.
It's kind of ribbing on you, but that's all right. Josh, you cool with that? You think that?
I'm gonna grin and bear it.
You just kind of. I think. Oh, that's another.
Or you could say grin and bear it.
That's another good one as well. But John might say that one. Okay, so we're gonna go with music is either 10%, 40%, or 90% marketing. There we go.
Everybody, I got the keys now.
All right, there you go. You can go to our website, bybpod.com. You can check out all the major keys there. You can also check out all of our social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Come watch us live Thursday as we stream the show. Next week's going to be a special episode with the holidays and everything. We're going to be recording on Wednesday. So if you want to come watch us, we're going to have a guest. Me and Lee are going to be doing the one chip challenge. We're going to eat a very hot chip and suffer through the show. So it's definitely going to be a good time. So definitely check that out. You can go check out all of our past episodes. And here's what you really need to do. It's the holiday season. You're buying your last-minute presents through Amazon.com. You still got that Prime. You're going to make it. You need to go click on our Amazon affiliate link at our website. It's right there on the right side. All you have to do is click on it. It takes you to Amazon. You make your purchases, and we get a small percentage of the sales. So it helps the show out. It gives us a little bit of scratch throughout the year to help pay for everything. You can buy your Blame Your Brother t-shirt. You can give that out as it's probably too late for a Christmas present, but you may get it out as a late Christmas present. Links there, and there's all kinds of links up there to subscribe to the show. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, all that good stuff. And we want to thank Radio Vegas Rocks for streaming us every Thursday out of Las Vegas on Las Vegas Internet Radio and FM radio in Las Vegas, radiovegas.rocks. Check them out. They have a new app. You can download the app. You can listen to all the shows they have and listen to us on Thursday as well. So Jay is the man. He's been streaming us from the start. We really appreciate it. He's a good dude. We like him. So, guys, cover it there. Lee, anything else?
Can you pull? Do you have internet access on your?
Yeah.
Can you pull up a Charlie Abbott tune to
end the show on?
End the show.
Yeah, man.
I sent you a master
let's
track.
play that one. Let's actually play that to end the show. It's not a bad idea.
I was thinking, we've talked about this music and we haven't played any, so we should definitely give the viewers
so
a chance.
That's a good idea. Let us end it with this great tune. This is called Silver Sun. This is I'm telling you guys, you're gonna like this a lot. That way, listen to it, then go check it out, and you have no excuse. Wait, whoa. You have no excuse not to go get this album when it comes out. I expect all you guys to do it. So, Lee, anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
Wake up early every morning just to close your eyes.